All right, so Wholesaling 101, February 12th, using Podio and CRMs to track your leads. Last week wait a minute. Was there last week? We talked about Podio, right? I believe. So we talked about Podio, and then this week we are going to be, so Magic Mike there. I used to have a website called Magic Mike Buys Houses. And so that's where that name came from. And used to work at the strip club. Here's my contact. You can text me here. And if you got deals in Georgia, you can send them to me. Or if you just have questions. Hey, Angela, how's it going? Oh, let me do it to everybody. And attendees, okay. So there's my group. You can join, post up your social medias in there, and everybody will like them. And then go ahead. So we'll rank higher up in Google. And homework from last week, if you remember, was to finish setting up your CRM if you hadn't. And we talked about how to set up Podio and how to get it automated. They had changed up Craigslist to where Craigslist would not be automated into showing up in Podio. But I'm going to try a new site at the end of this if we have time. Text my email. Yeah. All right, there we go. So you can send me that email. Yeah, so about deals in Georgia that I have. Yeah, we do dwellings. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and like that. There's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I think, and TikTok. So make sure you got all those up and running. And we're going to talk about those, I think, in a couple months. But so I've got these guys coming down on the 16th, which is my birthday. But I guess that's the only day they can come down. They were going to come down 2 weeks ago, but one of them he had to go into quarantine from getting the coronavirus, or he was in contact with somebody with corona. But he's part of a hedge fund. They've got $6 million. They want rentals in Atlanta. So if the numbers work as a rental, and I think they're flying down from New York, so they may pay a little bit more than your buyer. So send me those deals. You can text them to me. You can email me. I got my email in chat, mikewatkins87@gmail.com. Send me those deals. They don't need to be vacant. They could be occupied, but they have to be rent. So they can't be tear downs. They've got to, and the rent has to make sense. It's got to at least fit the 1% rule. So if you're selling it for like $200,000, the rent has to be at least $2,000 a month. And on the 16th, when they're flying down, I'm going to meet them and show them the houses. So they need to be available to show, or just send me the lockbox number. Latanya, I found a house for sale by owner. I want to see you walk through next step to complete way to process a deal. Okay. Yeah, you do that after I go through all of this and what to do. Okay, so set up your Google Voice. You become the investor, or the whatever it is, the investor, and then pick a list type, a marketing strategy, a skip tracer, and a virtual number, and then go to your REI and local meetups if you can. Okay, so how will you manage leads? Excel? Nope. Paper? Nope. Your CRM must manage the leads in a searchable way, be in the cloud, allow other users, be customizable, create web forms, work with Zapier, integrate with Craigslist, and have a phone app. Okay, so all of the ones we're going to talk about have that. So, oh, that's in the wrong order. So, this is from a course I did on how to wholesale just from your smartphone. And so the apps that I, suggest are Podio. You can create a Podio app, uh, although they do not upload now. If you say real estate, they don't upload all the top real estate app suite into your workspace. They now just do a generic anytime of anytime you make a new account, it's a generic. So you will need to get on a computer, set the Podio account up, download the app suite, and then you can do it all from your phone. Deal Machine can be done all from your phone. And so Podio is a CRM. Deal Machine is an app that will find leads. It tracks your driving. You can click on a house and it will send them mail, just like Batch Driven. So Deal Machine and Batch Driven are basically the same for this instance. And then Flipping American Network is a selling app that you can post up. They charge, I think I've got a link somewhere if y'all want that, but it's free to make an account, and then you only pay $100 when they find a buyer. So you post up a house, a deal, and buyers will come in and they'll pay $99 a month, and they'll have 24-hour exclusive access to one particular zip code. And so they can pay for multiple zip codes, but it'll be $100 per zip. And so they will get access to look at the deals before anybody else that are posted in that zip code. So when you post a deal in a zip code and there's a buyer that's got exclusivity to that zip code, then they're going to jump on it if it's a good deal. And then of course you can take pics right from the app, post them up in there, and I forgot the guy. I mean, he's local to Atlanta, but he flips everywhere. And one of my tenants works for him, and I was like, "Oh, you work for that guy?" And then I met him, and I was like, "Well, thanks for hiring my tenant to pay the rent." So Google Voice is an app, and then Google Maps is an app. Roger Blankenship, that's it. Yeah. And that was Has and Wants. That's the same meetup every Thursday that I met the guy that put me in touch with these two guys with the 6 million that are coming down on the 16th. So networking works. Batch Driven. This is the first one. You've heard me talk about this before. How to set up Batch Driven. So it's all this. This is what it looks like. No setup required. Okay, it's not like Podio. You just buy it. It works. It's got a 7-day free trial. And after that 7-day free trial, I think it starts out at like $50, and then $110, and then $200. And so $50 basically does everything the Deal Machine, and Deal Machine is the same price. And then 120 or 110 is, it does the same as PropStream. So it's good at pulling lists and having a farm area. So no setup required for Batch Driven. None of this. No. You just buy it. Okay. And so you download the app on your phone. You can make an account. You can use this. Did I do that already? No, I didn't. Okay. I don't know what we can get with these stupid little affiliate links. I know Deal Machine gives out like $5 to both people. Maybe we'll get like 5 credits each or something stupid like that. All right, so it's already set up for you. You go in, you buy a phone number. You can instantly create a text campaign and start texting people right away. They do not charge you to pull a list. They charge you to skip the list and text the list. So you can pull a list all day. Can go driving for deals virtually, just like Deal Machine, but it's done within the Batch Driven website, and it can pull lists just like PropStream. All right, let me show you, and then let me hide my stuff. Pause share. I want y'all to see my stuff. Is it still loading up? Oh my gosh. All right. So I'll load these up again. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna come back to that. All right. Then we have Deal Machine. I remember when we were at the mastermind of when it was the South Atlanta REI, and we met at this restaurant, and yeah, it's weird talking about stuff pre-coronavirus. But yeah, so this Angela Davenport, I won Teacher of the Year for 2018 with her for the wholesaling boot camp that we ran, and she brought up Deal Machine. She was like, as a CRM. And so you can upload a list to it. You can pay $20 a month and it will pull the Google Street Pick view and put that on a postcard. And I don't think I have any here, but it'll put a picture of the house. It'll put a picture of the house on the postcard. Am I still in full screen? Oh, it pulled my screen away. Okay. It'll pull up a picture of that house at the Google Street View. Now, some don't have that, but the other cool thing is that it gives out a code, and people go to that link that they get. They will download the Deal Machine app, and then it will link their app to your app, your account. And so, whenever they take a picture of a house for you, they become a deal finder, and they will send those deals to you, and then you can, of course, send mail to them, and it will send. You can set it to repeat. Which is really cool. So you can have this army of people out there finding deals for you. But so the plans are, you can use this code right here, uh, KXGZZJ, and it's all caps, and we get $5 each. Um, it's already set up for you. It does messages now. They've just added messages. So it almost it might well compete directly with batch driven at this point, depending. But there are no automated campaigns that I could see, and you could go driving for deals virtually. You just need to do it in Chrome, and you have to download the Deal Machine extension, and so you have to go to the Google Maps, and then you just have a little extension that puts a little blip on each house, and you just click on that blip, and it will put that deal and the Google Street Pick view into your um, Deal Machine CRM, and it can pull lists somewhat, but it can't it can pull vacants, it can pull tax delinquent, and it'll even pop them up on the screen. But there's no extra substance to it. Like there's no you can't select how old the houses are, this and that. You just select a bunch of tags. So vacant is a tag, tax delinquent, pre-foreclosure, and it just shows you all those deals. You can't select I want people who have owned the house for 10 years. I want people and not LLCs or trusts. So there's not a whole lot of crunch, I guess is the word, to the lists, but they are there. And yeah, so this is what the postcard looks like. Right here, it puts a picture of the house, and over here, it'll say, "We want to buy your house." And there's even a template where you can put your face on it. And they've got one now that's like COVID, and it's really nice. It was like, so we can buy your house virtually. So they've got all that printed out on there, and they're like 50 cents. The problem is, though, is that so to get into Deal Machine, you can get the $50 plan a month, which is just like one deal finder, and then you can get 3 deal finders if you pay, I think, $100 a month, and which is just weird. And then so you have 3 people finding deals for you, and then in order to have unlimited deal finders, you have to join the enterprise plan, which is 3,000 a year. I was grandfathered in at one point for 200 a month, And I kept sending them emails and telling them, hey, why don't you just make unlimited deal finders to everybody? Because the more people out there finding deals for you, uh, the more deals they find, the more money. And 2,000 a year. So you pay for it for the year, and then you're like, I don't want it. I don't want to. How good is your service if people are going to opt out after a while? Is my real question. And then before it was 200 a month, and you had to agree to do it for a whole year. And I did it because unlimited deal finders. I could turn an army of wholesalers from these meetups I go to, drivers, anybody, mailmen, FedEx people, UPS people. You could turn them into a deal finder. But you can do all that with batch driven anyway. All right, so deal machine. Let's see. Pause share. Okay, let's see if it's loaded up. It is. All right, let me log in. I don't want y'all seeing my stuff. Okay. Really? Okay. So y'all can see it anyway. All right. The screen is black. Mike, it says you're screen sharing, but all I see is a dark screen. Oh, okay. It's got the green around it. So it says pause share. Can you see it now? Because that was at 7:16. It's 7:18 now. You can see it now. Okay, good. All right, so some CRM, like we looked at Podio last week. Freedom Soft is one just like Podio, and REI Simple, which is a white label version with added, I think, lease options stuff into it. Every time you log into those, it's like a database. It was like spreadsheets. It was just a list of houses. But here, this is what you see when you log in. So if we zoom out, it's just a map. This is the home screen, is the map. And you can see all these new deals that I've pulled or that I've uploaded from the foreclosure report, which does count right here. So look at all these deals. None of them are showing up other than new. Maybe they'll just load in. But this is what you see. Okay. And so you have, can't click on that because they show credit card information. So you've got properties here. You can see them all there. I can click here and go to funnel and come over here and I can search by deal status. Currently marketing to would be the foreclosures, dead deal, danger. If they're not interested, we delete them. So we get people in, and the strategy is to get people in and find out if they want to sell. Good, we keep them. If they don't, we kick them out. There's no like continue to bug them until they buy or die anymore. And then so if they are interested, we move them to hot. When they contact us, we get rid of new, and I think we go to currently marketing. And so we currently market to those people until we get to talk to them. And then we just delete them from the database. All right. And then you could select, you only want to see deals that are skip traced, owner type. This is the big one that you're going to do is here. So these list types, these folders with stuff in here. You can see I've got, a lot of test runs. I actually took everything from Deal Machine and PropStream, pulled it out. I got rid of PropStream and Deal Machine once I got this. And then I also took REI Sellers. I took a whole list out of there and put that in here as well, because what I found out I was doing is I had Deal Machine, which was 200 a month. I had REI sellers, which was 200 a month. And then I had PropStream, which was like basically 200 after the add-ons a month. And so I had those three, and then I had a skip tracer. And so I'd have to go between all these different sites. I'd have to pull this from PropStream. I'd have to put it into Lead Sherpa to skip trace it, and then pull it out of Lead Sherpa, and then put it into a spreadsheet because I had to move the data around. I had to move the data around to even get it into the spreadsheet or into the skip tracer. And so it was just a hassle. But now that it's all in here, I can literally pull a list, skip the list. I don't have to do any formatting, and then I can immediately mark it to the list with a texting campaign. So there's all the folders, all the team members add a date, and then you can do these tags. So Diana Ross, wow. So those are in the March sale. What do I have access to all the list? Yeah, okay. These are all the March sale. Let's go to Up and Coming Hateville. Some of my dogs don't really like the other dogs right now for some reason. So they're fighting. Okay, if it'll zoom in, we'll look at a property. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's new. Why are we not marketing to Roger Davis? Okay. Let me see about this. Oh. Okay. All right. So if I zoom in here, we can click on a house on Birch Street. Whew. Let me get some of my energy drink here. Wake me up. All right. Come on. Okay. So we're waiting on that. You've got messages over here, which is everybody that texts back. There's no calling yet, but they've been adding features every so often. What I'm using for the calling right now is Mojo Dialer. And so Mojo Dialer is $97 a month, and then it's $10 per user. So if it's just you, you can get that for $97 a month, and it will call everybody on the list. It will pick up where you last left off, and technically, I'm paying for skip tracing, and that's it. So you can pull the list in batch for free, and then you skip them. When you skip them, it's 15 cents or 2 credits, and or no, 5 credits. So each credit is 3 cents, I think, when doing the math. So it's 15 cents to skip a lead, and it's only the ones that they actually find numbers for. So the successful skip, and then I import it into Mojo Dialer, and Mojo Dialer literally puts the script. Hey, we're interested in this house. Are you the owner? Hey, my name is Mike Watkins. We say the full name to sort of give them peace of mind. And it will pick up where you left off, and it will. It's a single dialer. You can pay for more dials, so it'll call 3 people. If one of them picks up, it will hang up on the other 2, and then when you want to call somebody else, it'll dial 3. So that way, you're not just dialing one person. They don't pick up. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, they don't pick up. That kind of thing. So it's more talking to people. And so we've got those 2 things. But once they get a dedicated dialer, which is going to be just like Mojo, I'm going to go with this one. Mojo Dialer also is made for realtors, which is good because a lot of wholesalers, it's sort of the same thing. It's just the scripts are different. And so it's $20 a month, I believe, and you can pull a for sale by owner, which comes from Zillow, and then you can pull a for rent by owner, and that's again from Zillow. And then there's expired listings, just sold, just listed as well that you can market to. I guess as a realtor, I don't know why they would want that, but that's good for wholesalers. Okay. All right. So in here, I'm going to pick up my little guy. I'm going to drop him down right here. And you see, we've got the route up here. We got the little pin, and we can zoom out and stuff. We got need help. Here's the other cool thing that I want to tell you about. This right here, I can pull this up, and within I don't think I've waited more than 10 minutes for somebody to respond, 24/7, 365. With Podio, it's email support. You gotta wait for them to email you back. Deal Machine is pretty good. They've got the same setup. Evernote is just a notes app, so they don't really have that kind of thing. Freedom Soft was email, and REI Simple was email. But here you can literally just hit this button, ask a question, like, hey, this isn't working, something's wrong here. And they'll come right back to you and help you out. So here I am virtually on Birch Street in Hapeville. As you know, I'm high risk to the Rona. So this is good for me because there's no risk, right? I don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to, wear pants. I'm virtually in a car right now. Okay. So let's click here. Here's the deal. Owner occupied. Okay. Not good. Not good. All right. So let's turn around here. And now these houses might not look good, but in Hapeville, the prices of these houses are high. So we got a kid walking home from school. That's good. Absentee owner. Okay. So Walker Property Solutions. So it's a company. So maybe not really. They need to walk her over there and fix that thing out. Let's look at this one. Is that behind it? Okay, so let's go driving. Let's go down this way. And there's no gas. We're not polluting or anything. This is eco-friendly. All right, so do my part. Okay, absentee owner. Here we go. A person's name. Okay, this is what you really want. You really want a person. What they bought it for, the sale price. All right, let's add this sucker. Here it is. Oh, it's in my March sale. Yeah, I didn't see that address, by the way. Plus, I've already skipped it. So, can we go down the street? I don't think we have. There's some roads that just don't have Google Street View. They haven't sent a car down that street, so we'll go back this way. Whoa. Okay. What's the app to go driving virtually? So this is batch driven. You can't go driving virtually in the phone app, but you can go in the website here. You can go down the street. I know it's fuzzy. Sorry about this. It just looks, it's making my eyes hurt. Okay. All right. So let's go on. This one, absentee owner. Gara Investments. Okay. Here we go. Douglas Blissett. Let's add that property. All right, it's in the March sale. Let's see if I've skipped it. No, okay. It's saying it's new. Is it just suggesting the March sale? I put this in test run. Okay. All right, let's skip him. And this will be 5 credits. Okay, look, boom. All right. One of the things I did this time is I emailed everybody too. So I took the March sale and I put the whole list in here. I skipped the whole list. I upload. So we've been calling people. through Mojo Dialer or mojosells.com. And then I put them on a text campaign in here, a 7-part text campaign. And then I also pulled all their emails and I BCC'd, make sure you BCC and not CC, and just send it to yourself, and don't send that one at night. And now there's a new feature where you can send it later in Google Gmail. And so you see all these text numbers here get texted. These other numbers will get called in Mojo Dialer. And here it is. So built in 1950. It's a 2.1. It's on Cravey Drive. I guess we can start him on a text campaign, which I can. But the thing about the text campaign is you want to do it every 2 days, and you want to skip Sunday. So you got to look at your map and make sure that like 7 days out when I'm sending this text that it's not going to send it on a Sunday, because people will be mad. How dare you send me a text at church? Just don't look at it. Like, don't have your ringer on when you're at church. Put it on silent. All right. Air conditioning, NA, construction type, NA, heating. So we don't know all that information. We got the lot size, all that. We've got assessment and tax. There we go. So you can see what all this stuff is, and it pulls this data automatically. There's no, you don't have to have this in your list, which was like that with Deal Machine. Special warranty deed. Ooh, okay. So this person would definitely be okay because they've bought it on a warranty deed, a special one. So they'd be more susceptible to sell the warranty deed to you. And then demographics. Look at this. Islamic. Okay. I don't know if this will help you out, but if you know anything about Islam, when I meet them and they are Baptist, I can really have something to talk about, because I grew up Baptist, and so I can, not to not to say any cuss words, not to say anything that would offend them. So having this kind of information is really great. And they're single, they're a male, they're not a business owner, and how much discretionary income, their net worth, their income, the household size. There's 5 people in here. We don't know how old he is, but sometimes it'll have the age in there. And then you've got the notes, you've got Zillow. You can print this when you go to meet the seller if you're doing that kind of thing. And then of course you can pull it up in Google Maps if you want. But yeah, this is tons of information. You see how many messages you've sent, how many of those messages are unread. And it's just great. And of course you can trash it, you can add a photo. We forgot to do this. So it's red. So we're tracking our route. So it will track your route, and this particular route, it will start out green if you just driven that route, and then it will turn yellow after 3 months, and then after 6 months, I think is the time it'll turn red. So those red spots, I got to go back and redrive those because they probably changed. You could also carry the phone with you and go driving for deals like in real life that way, and just like Deal Machine, and just click on them, add them, and go to it. All right, so let's click on messages here. I got some messages. People might be saying stuff, so don't worry about it. If they say something weird, somebody said, obviously I got the wrong number, but somebody was like, I don't own that house. I sell my body and live in a hotel. And I'm like, really? You would say that to a stranger? Here's what. So this person said, it takes it back. Here's the text we sent them. Mike here with Mike's House Help. Do you need help with this house in Griffin? Didn't respond. And then we said, 2 days later, that's more 6. So that's 5 days later. Okay. One way we help people is by buying their problem house all cash. If you need help with your house, just say yes. They said yes. I was like, is there a mortgage on it? Yes. How many beds does it have? 3-2. They said no. The bank sent me a letter months ago. They were foreclosing, and I thought they had but they didn't. So they're ready to let it go. Okay. And then in the text, I can click on here and it'll go right to the lead. Okay. And to get that back, you can just click right there and you can watch it in Google Maps. So if we go to routes, we can see different routes and stuff here. And of course, you won't see anybody. So I'm the owner of this account, but other people under me that I have in here that are admins, like my 3 acquisition managers, they will see their own driving routes. And then we've got text campaigns in here, templates, and we got campaigns. So a template is like this message goes out, and then 2 days later, this message goes out, and then another question or another 2 days, and then this goes out. So if we go to templates, we can come in here and we can call this drive it. And I like to call it driving for deals because you're not looking for dollars. You're looking for deals. Okay. So this is the name of the template. We're going to add day 0. And then we scroll down and we got these things. We can input property address. You can say this. But when I get a text and they use my name, I always feel weird. I'm like, you don't know me. But so, hey, first name, do you need help with property address? So it will fill that in, and then we can come in here and do like a day 2. But you really got to look at your map because you do not want to text people on a Sunday. And so you can have any number of these, and it's 2 credits per text that goes out. But they are automated, so that is cool. And then you have mail campaigns. So you have a signature, which is your number, your email, your seller website that they will put onto the postcard in certain places. So if we click on this one, here is a template, and they've got all this stuff. Here's what it says: attention, all of that. I'm hoping this card reaches you in time. And you can do a postcard or a letter. You can call it something, and then of course you've got the same, like you can put their name, your website, and if you click on this eye here, it'll show it to you. And so this is just the generic. And of course, I got to pick orange. You know me, love orange. All right. So let's go look at another cool one over here. This one, I actually copied all of these out of Deal Machine before I quit them. And so you come in here, and this is just like theirs. So it'll have house here. It'll say some sellers are still afraid that, oh, we've got to meet these people and we don't want to get COVID. I had tenants that, were like, before we meet, are you going to wear a mask? Are you going to, be protective of a rental I had in Decatur? And I was like, yeah. So assuring people that you're going to sell virtually, keep them safe, puts people at ease. Like, hey, I'm trying to do this safely. We can do it over the phone. We can fax all the documents. And it's even better that way because there's no chance that they will see the HUD in your assignment fee too. So it's a win-win. And so you go here. We can close ASAP and 100% cash, take over payments, and we can buy virtually. And so you can do all that. You can change the color. And let's see. So they have the picture over there. They've got this one with a smaller picture stuff at the bottom. And then, of course, you can do a letter. Now, you don't want to do this to foreclosures or owner occupants. So most of the foreclosures are owner. You don't want to send a letter to somebody because think about it. You get a letter and it's got a picture of your house. You mean somebody's right out there took a picture of my house? Like, that's creepy. And then you can see campaigns. And then we got reports, and we've got, let's click on reports. Do we have stuff? Oh, we're just up. Okay. Okay, it should be more than that. But all right. Oh, week, month. I don't think I've had it enough. Okay. Settings. You've got all your stuff. You can manage folders, phone manager. You can buy more numbers. You can export all your data. They don't hold it captive like I think FreedomSoft did. You can add people to your team. You get notifications, and of course you got affiliates. This is a really cool thing right here. If it'll open up. There we go. Suggest a feature. So you can go to this part of the site, and you can suggest features that they will add to the CRM. Oh, they've taken it down. Well, that's anticlimactic. All right. And then, oh, they've got a night mode. Haha. And so that's batch driven. All right. I think all right, deal machine now. Anyway. All right. So here's deal machine. Now, this is sort of getting like a CRM. And now I'm unpaid, but I still I'm able to get into my account, but I can't do anything with it. I can still look at the leads, and it's still there. So there it's this guy right here that owns it. And so he made this app to help himself out because he would always forget to send mail and then follow up and send more mail. So he made this app, and they've got a lot of videos on here showing you how to do everything. You can go to map, you can go to leads, and you can see your leads right here in a list. And you can see all this good stuff, and yeah, just like batch driven. Driving. Let's see if there's any driving in here. Oh, I canceled Street Engine, so I don't have driving. So you have to pay for I think it's $50 to get that. You got lists. So now they've got messages. So this is cool. I've got to upgrade to see it. But have a video right here. Maybe. So they also have webinars or meetings like every week in the app, and they'll send you notifications. Hey, we're having a webinar. We're going to talk with this guy who is going to teach you how to get an army of deal finders out there finding you deals. And so they'll tell you how to pay the deal finders, how to get them in, how to teach them, how to send them to a YouTube video that you make that will teach them how to find you deals and what kind of deals you're looking for. So you're going to be finding anybody, not just wholesalers. Then you've got mailers. Will it show me mailers even though I don't have anything? This is the one I liked. Will it show it to me? Restore, clone, preview. There we go. Wait, where am I? I'm over here. It's not gonna load up. Okay. Anyway, so that's the mailers, and then we go to more. You've got affiliate. You've got your team and how many people are finding you deals, and then they've also got request a feature. Okay, so that is deal machine. And then we'll move on to the next one. Oh, man. Story of my life. There we go. Okay. All right. Evernote. All right, so I've seen a couple of people talk about Evernote, and I thought it was really cool because it's just a note app. But each of the notes has a template. You can download the free app on your phone. There's no, I think you can pay for it at some point for extra stuff, but or extra space maybe. But from what I've seen, there's no pressure. There's not like a wall where you have to pay after that. You'll need to set it up. So unlike Deal Machine and Batch Driven, you will need to set this up almost like Podio. And then you can use your Google Voice number for calls and texts. Can give out links to individual deals. So each deal is a note. You will make another note that will be a list or marketing campaign. So you can give out that whole campaign. You can give out, or the whole app itself. You can have another person on there like a business partner. So you have control. So with Podio, you can either show everything or an individual deal. Okay. And the same with Batch Driven, and Deal Machine is the same way. So they're all like that. You can only show everything or an individual deal. I wish in Podio you could show like one particular applet and just have people in that applet see it. But for this, you can show, any of it, because once they have that note, you just give them access to the note that has links in that note to the other notes. So if you want them to just see one deal, you send them the link, and anybody with the link can view it. You send them the link to that one deal, like if you're co-wholesaling a deal with another wholesaler and they have a seller, so you put the lead in there. They then are in on that note with you while you find them a buyer for that deal, and y'all can coordinate, like, I put it on Craigslist, I put it here, I put it there, so that y'all aren't putting them on the same sites, and you co-wholesale it. So they don't see anything else. But now your acquisition manager, who you don't want to see your buyers or that side of your business, because once they have access to your sellers, you're finding sellers and you're selling buyers deals. Once they find both of those together, they don't need you anymore. They can go out and do that on their own. So you want to keep those separate. So you can actually let them see all the seller stuff. They'll see all of that, but they won't see buyers. Now, somebody like a business partner who's 50-50 with you in your business, y'all can have access to the note that has links to buyers and sellers. Okay. And it cannot pull lists, but it should be pretty easy. And I believe if you have Deal Machine at like $50, you can hook Deal Machine up to Zapier, and Zapier will connect to Evernote. And therefore, when you find a new Deal Machine, it will put it into your Evernote CRM. So that could work. Or you could just probably hook it up with Google Maps. And the second you click on a property, it'll ping to Zapier for free and then ping to Evernote. All right. So give me some leeway. I'll pause my share. See it also, you just see my favorite while I log in to Evernote. Okay, now it's been a while. So if there are some old properties or some old stuff in here, I may have changed how I'm, how I keep data or how I talk to sellers or how I market to them. So the new way is to separate myself from We Buy Houses people and those wholesalers that just bug people until they sell to them. I tell people, hey, you don't want me to bug you, that's fine. Oh, do I not have an account anymore? No, I don't. All right, I'm gonna make an account. Okay. Do not like those like passwords that they suggest. All right. A user with that email already exists. Oh my gosh. So then sign in. The password won't work, and then it'll be like, oh, you need to make a new password. I make a new password and I type in what I've always used from a password, and then it'll say, oh, can't be the same as your old password. I was like, well, I put that in. Why didn't that work? All right. So save it. Okay. And now we should resume. I need to be white for a minute while it loads up. So the way that this works is there are some templates, and did I find the templates? No, okay. Here we go. They're templates. Some of them are built in, some of them people have just made up. So you can actually, so I Googled this. This is the Evernote site. Okay. So you can go to templates, help, using Evernote templates, note templates for real estate. So these are some of the top ones. You can preview and save this to your thing. So this is like real estate about me. So this is as a realtor, you handing out that stuff. Client information, and of course this will have to be slightly modified as we are wholesaling these properties instead of listing them. So here's what what you might need a checklist for. So the way you could convert this to wholesaling is you could put in here that how's the roof, what have you repaired within the last 5 years, does it have granite countertops, how many beds and bath, is there a mortgage, um, if there is, how much is on it, how much of the payments, all of that stuff. When you meet at the property, how it looks, um, all of this stuff. So yeah, they've got these in here for you. And doesn't seem like it's wanting to go. Okay. All right. Your homework is to set up this CRM. The CRM is the foundation of your business. Like you have to literally have the CRM to manage the leads before you even start marketing, because all that marketing and those deals are going to come back to that CRM. So integrate it into Craigslist if you can. And I'm going to go figure that out in a second, and we can talk about that. Analyze 3 deals a day. Continue to market, and then finish building your team. Okay. So integrate Craigslist. And then I think we had a couple of questions. And then you can text script to 678-439-5699 to get me free script for when sellers call you. So I have a script for when sellers call you, and I'll give that to you for free. You just got to text me and let me know, and I'll send it to you. Okay, so integrate Craigslist. Let's see if Evernote is up. Nope. Nope. Okay. Well, while that comes up, where do we find templates? So I think I answered that one. So it's help. You click on help in Evernote. I just Googled Evernote templates, but it's help you Evernote templates. So let's click on templates and see. And again, while that's loading up, let's see. Found a house for sale by owner and want to see you walk through the next step to complete. Wait for this. So, Latanya, can I unmute you? That is the question. Okay. Okay. So here are templates. Company, business, templates for real estate, recruiting, for school, for meetings, and I think that's all they have. Now, this is just off of the site, so I know there are a couple of investors that I've heard on podcasts where they'll go more in depth on this. So you can probably Google search Evernote wholesaling podcast, and I'll try to find them too for you. But yeah, and just copy how they've done it. And I mean, that's all you're doing is you're copying me right now. So you want to copy everybody. Okay, Latanya. Let's see. Participant. Is it all right if I unmute you, Latanya? I don't want to just unmute you. I thought I might ask first. Okay, okay. Allow to talk. There we go. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mike.
Okay. All right. So you have a deal?
Well, I do. I found 2 houses that's for sale by owner, but I don't know what to do next. I kind of got the what do you call it? The different forms from under the on the super user page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But just working up the deal, what do I do next? Once you find a house for sale by owner, right? All right. So what do you do next? How do you kind of navigate? What do you think? Is it call them up and use the scripts that you can text us? Is that kind of how you work the deal?
Okay. So, and you haven't contacted them yet?
No, I only saw the property and I saw it for sale by owner.
Okay. So so you have their phone number, right?
Right.
Okay. So I would call that number and just say, hey, I saw it was for sale by owner. Can you tell me about it? Can you tell me what you're selling at? But when you say, can you tell me about it? Say, tell me about it. What's the story? Okay, so just get them talking about it, and they'll tell you all about it. Okay.
Right.
So if it doesn't need any repairs, if it has a mortgage, and if it has a mortgage, you want to find out how much is on the mortgage, how much the payments are, all the percents like the APR, 15, 30-year fixed, unfixed, and then is it current, and how much they want for it. And then you want to ask them at some point, what in the property have you fixed up in the last 5 years? And so this is just to get them thinking about, like, I haven't done anything in the last 5 years. You're not really going to use that information. I mean, you can, but it's really to get them in the mindset that it obviously hasn't sold because they're trying to get too much for it. And so you want to find out if there's a mortgage. An example I had was a guy had the mortgage was 150 and he wanted 200,000 for it. So he was like, I want 200,000 for it or no deal. And I was like, okay, is there a mortgage on it? He said, yeah. And I was like, well, will that 200 cover the mortgage? If I pay you, is all of that 200 going to go to the mortgage? And he said, no, some of it'll come to me. And I was like, okay, well, how much of it would come to you? Do you know? And he said 50. I was like, okay, so the mortgage is 150. What's the monthly payment like? Because what I can do is I can take over the mortgage, take away that, and then just give you 50 as the seller, and then take over the mortgage. That way, all I'm paying is 50 down plus 1,000 a month. And he was like, oh, well, that sounds great. I mean, it's the same thing he gets if he were to sell it for 200, except it's easier for me. And so once I explained that to him, then he started talking to me more. We found out that the mortgage was more than the value. it was only worth 100,000.
Right.
And so then we did a short sale. So he's being negotiated with my short sale negotiator to come down to a reasonable price. And it does need a little bit of repairs. So
Okay.
if the property needs repairs, that means that they're willing to do a short sale and to come down on that price. Now, if it's nice, they're not willing to come down. So if the house is nice or doesn't need repairs, if it's like livable, if there's no holes in the wall, or if there's a little bit of holes in the wall, like you could fix that. But you're gonna have to pay for any little repairs and this strategy. So doesn't need work. The mortgage is under what the value is. And if you can check the rent on the property at rentometer.com, and you want to make sure that that rent is at least 200 to 300 above what the mortgage payments are. And so you can do what is called a lease option, and you can wholesale lease option if you want. So you get it under contract with a lease with an option to buy it at a certain price. So this, let's say this 150 house, if I got that one and it was 100,000, which is what the house was worth. So I would get that house, you would have it under contract for lease at say 800 a month. You would pay them 800 after you get a tenant. Okay, so you'd get it under contract. You would then go find a tenant buyer because they're going to buy the property, and they would put down anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 down as option money to pay for that option to buy. They don't have good credit, but they have cash. You'll move them in, collect that money, and then pass 800 of that to either the mortgage. I'd say rather you pay the mortgage or send it right directly to the mortgage company, because you don't want to send it to the tenant and then them not pay the mortgage. You don't know if they're going to pay it.
Right.
And then so you're collecting $200 a month. So it's cash now. You get that like 3,000 to 5,000 down. That's like a small wholesale fee. Then you get cash flow, which is that 200 a month, and then you get it under contract from the seller at 100,000. But then you can sell it for a little bit more than market value because they don't have good credit. And now you can't go crazy with it and charge like 200. They're going to get it appraised, and it's going to need to be around that appraisal value. So you can get away with 120. So you'll get that 20,000 2 to 5 years down the line. Once they build up credit from paying the rent, they can then get a loan traditionally with a realtor that you've teamed up with, and that's cash later. So it's cash now, cash flow, cash later, and that's if it doesn't need any repairs, which is a typical house that you find for sale by owner.
Okay.
Now, if it does need work and there's little to no mortgage on it, I would say then that's a classic wholesale deal. Just see how much the mortgage is or how low it is, and then see how much they want. And then you take your ARV of the property and you take, I would do like 60% of that ARV minus repairs, minus 10,000 for your fee, and try to get them as close to that mark as possible if they're above it. And go that route. The other thing you could do is if the rent is really low, or if the rent is what the mortgage payment is, you could wholesale that lease option, and you would just get that like move-in option money, that 3,000 to 5,000 down. You would just collect that, and then you would step out of the way, and the tenant would sign a lease with the homeowner. So basically, you're wholesaling the lease to a tenant.
Okay. You wholesaling the lease to a tenant.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So so if it needs a lot of repairs, you can wholesale it, and then if it doesn't need or short sell it, and if it doesn't need a lot of repairs, then you can lease option it, and of course you can wholesale that lease option as well. So those would be the two routes I would go.
What about wholesaling it to like Airbnb? Do you do those, or you can't really do that?
You could wholesale it to so I got one in Decatur, well, in Panthersville. And it was right near I-20. And so we put it on Airbnb. Mm-hmm. We were getting it ready to put it in Airbnb. So we had fixed it up a lot. We wanted it to look nice for Airbnb. And we put about 20,000 into it. We paid the seller 1,000 and just took it over. And we're making first payments. And we had 2 people come to me and they straight up just said, hey, we'll give you 10,000 for it, to then have the option to pay the 20 to fix it up, because we hadn't done that yet. And I was like, man, this must be a great deal, because they're offering 10. That's not the maximum they're going to pay. Because you start out low. So I was like, man, if this is a good enough deal to where like, people are just shooting out 10,000.
Right.
We're going to keep it. But so what I would do with the Airbnb is, if that's what you want to do, so if this property you're talking to doesn't need a lot of repairs, you could either paint it, and we had a paint party at this one. So I had wholesalers and other people that come to my meetups come there, and we, I bought paint and rollers and paint brushes, and we just painted the whole thing. I taped it all up ahead of time. And I went right down the street and bought wings at this place, Dream Wings, if you're ever in Atlanta. And it was like a party. We got it painted for free. You got to make it look nice to be on Airbnb. And so we got that house subject to, and then we put it on Airbnb. So I wouldn't wholesale at Airbnb, but you could definitely get the property and then put it on Airbnb.
Right.
Or you could sell it. Like, I don't know if those people that were offering 10,000 for it were going to Airbnb it, but that would technically be wholesaling it to Airbnb. So either of those options would have worked.
Okay. And then I guess the last question I have is, do you have investors, like a list of investors that just I guess that's kind of like how the other ones work, like we'll buy your houses, and then they have like a list of investors that are the buyers? Do you use those or no?
So you mean like, do I have buyers before I start looking for sellers?
Correct.
So yeah. So I think at the 2 videos ago, I talked about how to do wholesaling in reverse. So go watch that one. But I talked about how to get buyers first and then see what they're buying. So if you meet buyers in person, you can ask them, and I would word it like, hey, tell me about your last 3 deals. Not what are you looking for, what do you want? Tell me about your last 3 deals. So these are deals they've already bought, and you can find out, hey, they paid 50,000 for each one. They were all two ones, and they were total beaters. They added on a bed and a bath. And then they added some square foot and or popped the top and put another floor on. And they were in this school district, in this area, in this zip code. And then you ask them at some point, you make a verbal contract. So you say, if I find a house and sell it to you for 50,000, it's a 2-1, and the neighborhood is full of 3 2s, so you can add a bed and a bath. And that area will allow you to pop the top and add another level, because some won't. It's in that school district that you like. That's a 10 out of 10. Would you buy it? And of course they're going to say yeah. And then you just go out and find them. And any lower than 50,000 that you get it under contract for is your profit. And so if you can get it at like 20,000, you're making 30. And it's so much easier to go and find deals once you have a buyer, because when I started telling people, hey, I've got these 2 cash buyers that are part of a small hedge fund coming down from New York, people just started sending me deals. And when I'm talking on the phone with sellers and I'm texting them, I'm like, oh, this would be perfect to sell to them. And I'm like, well, yeah, we can come up on the price a little bit. So it was I don't know if it was the confidence of knowing I already had it in the bank once I got the deal, to sell it to this hedge fund, or if it was just me putting the word out, hey, send me what you got. But it was a lot easier to do it. And apparently I've heard that I do a lot of stuff backwards. So
yeah, working backwards. So to see the videos, let's see, on the website, it's
okay.
REI-USA.com, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then let's see the replay. Oh, training replays. Okay, I see that. All right, and then your meetup.
So
where do I find your meetups?
Oh, so I don't do in-person meetups anymore.
Oh, you're just doing virtual?
Yeah. I gotta stay safe. I'm high risk.
I got you. So Fridays at 7, right? This is my first one attending, so just trying to get off.
Yeah. Fridays at 7 on here. And this whole month I'm talking about CRMs. Next week, I think I'm gonna have Stacy on talking about Infusionsoft.
Right.
And how she uses that for real estate. And then the next week, I've got a guy who's another super group leader, I think from another state. And he's going to be talking about REI Black Book. And that's one I've heard about, but I've never seen. And then if there are any other CRMs that you want me to go over, as long as I get a free trial, I'll try them out and get them on here and show you what they do. Oh, I gotta log in. So I'm gonna see if I can find. I think it's in here. Once I log in, I'll show you the link to see all your stuff.
Okay, good deal. Thank you.
Yeah, and then so this is sort of the same carryover from this is the curriculum that I use in my yearly meetups, and so here we go. So this month or last month is getting started in mindset. This month is CRM, and then next month is comparables and comp in the deal and analyzing deals. And then you can see here that May is cold calling etiquette, texting etiquette, how to set up a call center. So each month is going to cover a different topic. Like August is signs. And then I'm just going to break those up into 4 weeks and talk about them like that. But if there's anything else you want me to cover, like you need, you've got a deal, you've got to know how to find buyers, I can easily come in there 1 week and just make it all about how to find cash buyers quickly for your deal. So training relays.
What about the teams? You said earlier about putting together teams. What tools are you utilizing to find people to put these virtual teams together?
So teams is not what you're thinking about. So a team is like you find a realtor, but the realtor is not really going to work with you directly. The realtor is going to still do listings and work with himself. You're not, just starting out, they're not going to work with you exclusively, but you're going to have a realtor that you're going to meet in a real estate investor setting. So that know that, you talk to a typical realtor, they're like, oh, wholesaling is illegal. You're like, oh, okay. And then I've seen you haven't gotten out much.
Right.
And so you want to get them on your team, and then, but it's not really like a team. But as far as like the deal finders and getting a whole bunch of them out finding property. So, I run local meetups here, and I was meeting in person, and I got CC'd in on this buyers list in Atlanta, and it happened like 3 more times. So I'm like, people just handing me buyers. So I'm like, well, I got all these buyers. Let me go into Atlanta where they are, and I'll teach them how to find sellers, and then hopefully they'll bring the sellers to me, and we can co-wholesale to here. And so I was just telling people how to find deals. And so I had a lot of people there. I had a Podio web form where people would sign in. So I had all their names, all their emails, all their phone numbers, their contacts. So I sent them out a thing. I was like, hey, find me deals. I got into Deal Machine. And so that's how I got my army of deal finders. I know Angela Davenport, who told me about Deal Machine in the first place. She will ride Uber. And then while she's in the car, she'll be telling them like, hey, I like these houses up in here. Do you drive this area? hey, here's my link to Deal Machine. Get on there and just snap a picture. It's all you got to do. Download the app and gets them that way. Uber Eats, she tells them the same thing. We were at the hotel where we had the boot camp, and she was talking to me about snapping pictures. And there was a truck driver behind us, and he was like, well, I go driving between here and the Florida line and back. And he was like, and I see houses like that all the time. And she was like, here's my card. Got one right there. You know, your kids, if they can drive, other family members, you can get them on there too. But the mailman at, say, like UPS or FedEx, those are the best, because they shop every house and they know, oh, this house ain't getting any mail right here. Let me snap a pic of that one. They might want to sell that one. And I would usually pay like $1 per lead, because if you pay any more, like, they're going to be people that abuse the system, and they will come in with like 50 deals a day. So if you drive in a neighborhood, you should find about 15 houses in an hour, and so that's $15 an hour. That's like, you know, double minimum wage,
right?
So, but yeah, and then you pay them $500 when you close on a deal. So there's $1 per deal, a little bit of money, because if you just pay them $500 when you close, it's not really going to incentivize people as much.
Okay.
So here we go. 8. Oh, these are not in any kind of order. Okay. So yeah, last week is up there, but I think it's this one, 15.
Okay.
Is the one, or no, it's this one. I think this is the one where I talk about reverse wholesaling and how to do that. And then February, like 9th, I think it's we talked, was this month's, which isn't up yet. I think they edited them.
Okay. So 115.
Yeah, 129.
129. You go in reverse. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
All right, I see that one. All right. I think that's it. That's all my questions. I just have to do a little bit more training. Yep, I appreciate it.
Yeah. And get them to name the first price. And if they won't do it, don't give them like an actual number, give them like a range, and push the blame onto the market or to this third party. Like, you know, well, since the coronavirus hit, you know, it's been hard to rent places out. So, you know, I've tried renting them out in the area, and takes a while to get people to move in, and then they don't always come in at the price that I want. But I would say, you know, other properties have been selling in the area for like anywhere between 50 and, you know, 80,000. You know, is that like within the range? And you know, pretty quick, like they'll be mad, or they'll be like, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And do you know where in that range you were hoping to sell the property for, or what were you thinking to sell it for? And then when they give you like a price, like, well, I was thinking about doing 70,000 because like these other houses were selling for 70,000. Then you can come in and say, well, you know, this other house was selling for 70. Is that how you came to that price? Or you could say, you know, oh, you want to sell it for 100,000. How did you come to that number? Like, how did you come to that? And then you can say, well, you know, you can pull up those other houses and say, you know, oh, these are really nice and all fixed up. They've got, you know, fresh coat of paint, hardwood floors. Does yours have all of that same stuff? And chances are they'll say no. And then you can say, okay, well, you know, the amount of work that it would take would probably be like, you know, 20, 30,000. You know, are you willing to take that off to make it worth it? Because I'd have to put that money in to get it to that value. Yeah. Okay, so you've got this deal. You're talking to them, and I got a cat over here playing with a box. So next Friday, I want to know what happened. Like, you know, what they said, what they did, and if not, or if you need to get to me before you got my number.
Okay.
And so let me know. So we will be following you in your first deal Yeah. So, well, are you afraid to talk to people on the phone?
Not really. It's just a matter of kind of knowing what to say. So I'm gonna text you and get the scripts, and then
yeah. Text that number. I'll send you the script.
Yeah, get the scripts, and then you know, I guess maybe on my first one, if I can't really handle it, can I hand it off to you and then we'll split it?
Yeah. Hand it off to me.
Until I see how it goes, I'd rather hand it off instead of lose it completely, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, once we get it locked down, now, this one's Atlanta, right?
Right. I'm in Loganville.
Okay.
Loganville.
Oh, Loganville. Okay. So I don't know. That's probably, so these guys are buying in Atlanta, but the further out of Atlanta. So, you know, I've got like 10 deals I'm already showing them. And
Okay.
so I'm showing them the ones that are going to be easier to show. But if I have to drive out of Atlanta, that's going to take up a lot of time. So I might not get to show them all the deals. But yeah, Loganville is pretty good. Okay. So
yeah, Loganville. And I think the other one is Norcross.
Norcross. That one we might be able to show them on the 16th.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll get them under contract and we'll get lock boxes on them. And I've got contracts right here. And print your own contracts out. You know, have like at least 5 contracts in a folder in your car.
Okay.
At all times. And then also the 5 assignments, because you never know when you're gonna find a deal, and you also never know when you're gonna meet a buyer. And you see, I've got this bug out bag here that I always have on me anytime I go somewhere. I got all the contracts I need.
Right.
All right. So you always got to be ready. The worst thing you could do is have somebody that's ready to sell, and then you're like, let me go to Kinko's, let me go print out some copies, I'll be right back. It's the worst.
Yeah.
So my number is there. Okay, I think that's, any more questions? You got any more questions?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Okay, if y'all got anything else, you can text me 678-439-5699. And again, promise me you're going to talk to 5 sellers a day. And if you can't talk to 5, if you only talk to like 2, make sure that you find 3 people on Craigslist, Zillow for rent by owner, Zillow for sale by owner, or pull a list on ListSource, which I think I go in like week 1, and send mail to 3 people, and then put it in your CRM or in your phone or on your calendar to send mail to those 3 people again. And after about a month, you'll have a couple of people each day. You'll be sending a bunch of mail. You'll be increasing your chances of getting a deal, and you'll also be increasing your chances of talking to sellers, which will increase your chances of getting a deal. And it'll be easier to put out that sort of marketing than to just pay a bunch of money to send out a big list of like 3,000 postcards. So build it up small, just take baby steps.
Okay.
Do you have deals? Do you have buyers that would be interested in doing deals in Alpharetta? Yeah, I've got a couple buyers in Alpharetta. Yeah. Send it to me, or email me, MikeWatkins87@gmail.com, and we'll do it. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys, and I will see y'all next Friday.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
All right. Thank you.